everyone. I wanted to share with all of you today a breakthrough that I had in my business that took me out of this glass ceiling I was in. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe you feel like you're on a hamster wheel right now. Maybe you feel like you've hit a ceiling in your business. And I had a very profound breakthrough that helped me overcome mine. And I want to share with all of you so that all of you experience similar results. So I see us right now really in an era of hustling. And I know all of you see it. You look all around you, you look on YouTube, you look on social media, and there's this constant grind, constant content creation, this constant need to get leads, to close sales, and then to brag to everyone, oh, I made 50K in 1 month or something like that. And it's become really toxic actually, because some people are even like faking testimonials, they're faking case studies, they're copying other people's websites. And I look at it and it's really not coming from an authentic place. All of these people, even if they're making money with it, I can tell that there is a very deep sense of unfulfillment. And, there's like this question of, what am I really here for? Like, what good am I really creating? And so a lot of people, they're really caught up in the numbers. They're really caught up in comparing themselves to other people. And when we see these other people who are really grinding, what our brain does is we compare and we're like, they're getting more sales than me, or they're getting more views, more followers than I am. And what the brain tends to do in that scenario is it tends to look for the next strategy. It thinks, oh, let me try to fix my website. Let me try to, fix my thumbnails. Let me try SEO. Let me try this strategy, that strategy, that strategy. And so we're really caught in the left brain, and we're not really rooted in our heart, and we don't have our active creative right brain activated over here. And so when we do that as well, we tend to overlook the internal aspects of what really makes us work. So we start to judge ourselves, we start to get lost in we don't look at our own perceptions. We tend to overlook our own worthiness, and we tell ourselves these really disempowering stories. And so my breakthrough that I had about 2 weeks ago is I was at this retreat with some very affluent people, and they weren't greedy at all. They were very rooted. They've done the work, which is why they were doing so wealthy. And plus they were just coming from a true place of abundance and gratitude. And I had this epiphany that, the biggest thing for me that was standing in the way of really getting my business to the next level, and even other people who I see doing entrepreneurship and YouTube, the biggest thing that's standing in their way is their own ego. Really let that sit in. A lot of people, they're just too attached to the dollar amount. They're too attached to what will people think. They're too attached to just achieving a particular outcome. And I get it. I was there. When I first started this, I was living with my mom because after college, I didn't want to get a traditional 9-to-5 job. I really wanted to get my business working. And so I was so attached to the dollar amount. I was so attached to that outcome of moving to San Diego, but really everything that I needed to be happy and fulfilled was already in existence. It was already around me, and I had abundance everywhere. And that's really the thing, everyone, is abundance is all around you already. There's nothing that needs to happen. There's nothing that needs to take place. And to really tap into that, you have to let go of your own ego. And so ask yourself, what am I truly here to do? What impact do I really want to make? And really try to get grounded. And I keep mentioning the book Asking It Is Given, because when you ask what you want, you have to be open to receiving it. The thing that you want, it already exists. You just haven't let it in yet. So for me, I wanted to really move to San Diego, which is where I live now. I really wanted to move here, and I was able to do that whole time. I had my car. I'm very resourceful, so I could have tapped into that. We live in a very abundant universe. And so I tell you all this because when you tap into that and you remove those blocks, those internal blocks, that's when opportunities start to come in. That's when more clients will come in. That's when people will be really attracted to you. And that's when you will really activate your resourceful mindset. And I know that some of you have been trying entrepreneurship and YouTube for a while. And I get it. There's frustration of, I should at least be making X amount of dollars, or I should at least have X number of subscribers. I get that. That can be really frustrating. I totally get it. And so I tell you all this because yes, the strategy matters, but also mastering what's internal matters as well. And if you've been doing all the right logistical stuff and it's still not coming into place, then it's time to really reevaluate why you're doing this. And a lot of you are doing this for a good reason. You are coming from that heart of service. You're doing the right stuff, but it just also takes doing the right stuff long enough. Sometimes you're doing the right stuff, but you're just not being persistent with it. So you have to have both that science to it and also the art. The art is your juice, your personality. And if you really think about it, everyone, there is no rules to the game. People think, oh, you have to have this in your thumbnail, you have to have that on your webpage. No, those are all like made up rules. Like, you can do it in a way that feels really good to you, but also resonates with your clients. That does take experimentation. That does take assessing what feels good and right for you. But also, like, just imagine it. I want you to put everything to the side for a second. I know many of you have bills to pay. I know a lot of you have this desire to get to a certain place in your life. I get it. But I just want you to imagine it for a second. Imagine that life where you are fully in alignment. You are fully abundant. You know, people are resonating with your authenticity, with your message. They're coming on board with your solutions. Just imagine it for a second. What will that look like? Maybe it's you opening up your computer every morning and, leading a group Zoom because that's something you strive for. Maybe it's you being a public speaker at events. Maybe it's you running your own retreats, your own events. Maybe it's, I don't know, like helping people one-on-one, whatever it is. Sorry, there's like a little fly by my face. I keep swatting at it. But anyway, that's one thing with going live. If this was a pre-recorded YouTube video, I'd have to chop that out, me swatting at my own face. But really imagine that was a bad moment, but really imagine that for a second and just realize that it's already here. It's already here. It's already in your existence, and you just need to allow it. Like me, for example, I already know that, and I don't say this for greedy reasons, but I already know that I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a multimillionaire right now. I am, and I say that because when I see myself with that resource, I see myself giving back. I really, really strive to protect the oceans because no oceans, no life, and it has such an aesthetic beauty, and that's where I want my money to go towards. That's why I feel like I came here, and I know money is the most powerful resource to help me do that. And I realize as well that I'm already doing that. It's already here. I'm already doing the things. And yeah, everyone, when you really do this work to ground yourself, that's when you'll tap into the abundance that already exists, because many of you already have the tools, the support, and the resources to get to where you want to be, but you're just not fully tapping into it. So to give you an example, I was getting really overloaded with my work this past month. I've been getting so many leads, and it's so much to keep up with because I also work out. I also work with clients one-on-one. I create content, and so all the leads I was getting, it was too much. And so I was really getting attached to my ego because it's like, oh, I'm getting all these leads, I should be getting all these sales, but I was just really overwhelmed. And people can feel when you're overworked, and so that's why I wasn't getting conversions. And then I took a step back and I really grounded myself. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? I let go of the ego metrics, I should be getting X amount of dollars. No, I let all that shit go. Excuse my language. But I let all that go. And I was like, oh, I already have all these resources. And so I put together a team to help me with all this. I have a channel manager. I have someone to help me edit clients' videos, to redistribute them on other platforms, to repurpose them, to build funnels. It's like I already had my team here this whole time, and I just wasn't tapping into that because my ego was getting in the way. I even thought I have to do a lot of this stuff by myself because I'm the one who will do the best job at it. But it's like, no, there's people out there who could even do a better job than me, and by having more hands-on support, I could get more in a day than what I would originally do in an entire week because I have that hands-on support. So I tell you all that because all of you as well, you likely already have the resources at your disposal. One client of mine, for example, was spending all this time editing, and then he had his younger son do it because he's faster at it, and plus he enjoys it, and he just pays him a little bit of money, and it's like a team effort, it's like a family effort, and it's a nice bond that they have. Another client of mine, she was getting discouraged because she wasn't getting the number of clients that she wanted from her YouTube, and we really assessed her, and she's in a particular niche, but a bunch of people were approaching her to get help with another niche. And so it's like, oh, why don't you just make them an offer? And she was like, oh yeah, I could totally help them with this niche. And so that's what I mean. Everything that you want is already there. The clients are there, but when you take a step back and you look at it, you can just take a slightly different approach and get those results that you want. So yeah, that's my message for all of you. I hope all of you found value from this. I will be posting a long form video soon where I dive deeper into this topic. So all of you got the scoop first before I did that pre-recorded video. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe because I do go live at least 3 times a week, and I really love doing it because I get to flow and interact with all of you. So until next time, bye everyone.